Hey, Ann.
Howdy.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing well too.
Did you get to the gym today?
I did not. I took the day off.
Uh,
Um,
Sometimes we need that.
yeah. Well, I had once a month. I have something for work on Wednesdays at 10, so I cannot make the 9 o'clock class.
Yeah, 9 o'clock is my favorite time to
Yeah,
work out.
yeah.
I love
I
9 o'clock.
I really liked 7 too, but we don't have that right now.
I think I could do 7.
Hmm.
We have 5:30 and 6:30, and that's
Hmm.
just too early.
Too early.
Yeah. Do you eat before you work out?
Oh, yeah, at 9 I do. At 7 I did not, but yeah, 9.
Yeah, I get
I'm
so
eating at like
shaky.
7:30.
hmm
Yeah.
I figured out I have to have kind of my last bite like an hour, exactly an hour before the class.
Okay. Yeah, usually if I eat some oatmeal like an hour and a half before, I'm good. And then right before I go, I drink some watermelon vegan BCAAs.
Nice.
They're
I've never
yummy.
tried that.
Yeah, I think it really helps my energy. Like when I was in LA, before I started CrossFit, my naturopathic doctor recommended I take those and
Oh, okay.
for energy, like for ballet. That was when I was having all kinds of health issues. and
Learning
but
curve.
I still find them very helpful. Anyway.
So it's different than like a pre-workout because I see people like on Instagram
Yeah,
doing pre-workout stuff.
I
Like,
know. I don't know what's all in that.
I think it's just
Yeah.
caffeine.
Oh, really?
I think it's more
Interesting.
like if you got a cup of coffee,
Wow.
there wouldn't be too much difference. But then I don't know what else is in it to make it.
Yeah, I thought it was probably like some nutrition or,
No, I think
carbs
it's
at least. No.
like I think it's mostly caffeine, but I've never looked into it because,
Hmm.
you know, non-toxic, try
Hmm.
to be least additives of things.
Yeah.
So I'm sure coffee's not great, but
Oh, coffee's coffee. It's not a whole bunch of things. Like is
it's true.
in the pre-workouts probably.
Yes, right. It's
Yeah.
not a powder that I like put in my
Yeah.
mouth and then chase with some water.
Yeah. It's like relatively unprocessed, lightly processed,
Yes.
roasted coffee and ground. Anyway. Yeah. So we're doing this early this week. But so far I would say my week has been mostly Medicare ready moments, unfortunately. So I guess you probably want to know what
I do.
happened.
I really do. I've been waiting.
Right. So okay, so Monday, so I went to the gym Monday morning and I had slept in a little bit, not much, just half an hour because I had woken up in the middle of the night and I was like, I need a little more sleep. Um, and then went to, had my usual breakfast at the usual time, went to the gym and I just we were doing deadlifts first. We were doing really heavy, like 85%, 7 rounds of 3 deadlifts. And so we were warming up to that.
How much time do
And
you get in between those rounds?
I think it was 2 minutes.
Okay.
Um, and we were just warming up for it. And I kind of I was like, oh, my back kind of hurts. And I felt just like mentally confused about it. Like all of a sudden I was like, I don't know if I should do this. Like, after heavy cleans the other day, I was like, oh, my back's kind of hurting. And I got confused. I don't know, oh, is this an issue? And I was talking to the coach. I'm like, should I? And he's like, try, yeah, you don't have to don't go heavy. And if you want, try a sumo deadlift. And so like, I tried a sumo and he was like, oh, you could go slower if you want, just do, you know, slower and lighter. And I tried a sumo deadlift and like, I couldn't lift it off the ground and this was much less than my max deadlift. And I was like, what? And maybe it was because I was trying to do it slow instead of having momentum and just, I don't know. It was all like, he's like, this is mental. Like, I
Thinking-
know.
I'm thinking though, you've got like 45-pound plates on the end or something, like you
Yeah,
miscalculated.
it was only 95 pounds by that time, and my max is 175. So I should have been doing 150. 85% I think is just about 150. And but I just like, I was like, I can't lift it. And I was like, I said, I was just feeling like, oh, he's talking to me. I was feeling confused. Like I literally felt tears coming up in my eyes.
Oh my God.
They didn't spill over, but I was so, and he's like, you could just do the biking while we do this, just hop on the bike. And so I'm like, okay. So I hopped on the bike. I skipped the deadlifts, right? And as I'm biking, I realized I forgot to have my tea this morning. Like I was just decaffeinated. And I mean, just really confused. And some, that I always worked out at 7 without caffeine or just like,
Oh.
or green tea. But I've kind of gotten hooked again on like 2 mugs of strong black tea a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I needed it. I was like, why am I so foggy? I feel like, and so there was that. But by that time, he had been like, okay, back hurts, just no, I don't remember the word, if it's level 2 movement or something. There's like movements that you don't jump and movements that you do jump into another position. And so instead of a hang, clean, and jerk, which I think was what we were doing in the Metcon, just, clean it, so kind of like muscle clean and then strict press.
Mm.
Like, okay, you can do that. And then we had up downs in the workout. Do you know what that is? Metcon is
I don't think
literally
so.
like it's like a burpee without the hard part. Like you don't actually go down into a push-up position. You just go down into a plank and stand back up.
Oh,
Or jump, jump back up.
Jump
But
would be, yeah.
he's like, just don't jump, like step back and step forward. That was so freaking easy, by the way, which was good.
You're like, can I
But
have up downs all the time?
yeah, yeah, non-jumping up downs were like ridiculous. But my shoulders did get workout from the strict presses. But that was definitely like Medicare ready. And then
Did you tell him that you figured out what your problem was?
yes,
Like,
yes.
oh, wait I have to share. I
And
didn't have to.
what's weird, the weird thing is that my problem in the past has been that I did have caffeine, because sometimes a while back I was getting dizzy if
Mhm.
I'd have full caffeine before a workout. So I was like, okay, I can only have green tea before a
You
workout.
are so sensitive to the caffeine.
Mhm.
Wow.
Then like in the last month or so, I realized, hey, I am okay with black tea. And then I got like more into it, and now I need it apparently to
I need
function
my tea.
and to not be a mental mess in the gym. so then, okay, this week is like extended Medicare ready moment. So I have to tell you about Tuesday also. Okay, so Tuesday we have a Metcon to start with, and it's 50 box jumps, 30 wall balls, 400 meter run, and then it's 25 box jumps,
15.
15 wall balls, 200 meter
200.
run, and then do that second part again, like 25,
Oh, okay.
the 25 jumps. Okay, so
That's a lot of jumping in a row.
yeah, it's a lot. So I pace myself, like I'm usually good at box jumps.
Okay, pause. Do
Uh-huh.
you do jump and then go over? Or was this like just jump up
No.
and get down?
Not
Okay.
a jump over, just up and down.
Okay.
Yeah. So so I get through the I have to tell you important detail about this day. the night before I slept super for like 5 hours straight. And then I woke up at 3 a.m. and I started having ideas for our podcast. I was very excited and therefore did not sleep a freaking wink after 3 a.m. I kept going, going back to my slightly boring book, which was like interesting enough to take my mind off the podcast stuff, but boring enough that I should be able to fall asleep. So then I get sleepy and I close it, my Kindle, I'd close my Kindle, and then I'd immediately start thinking again.
Like you need a notepad next to the bed.
I know. Yeah, I actually did that yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So did not end up sleeping a wink after 3 a.m.
Oh.
So then that day I would have liked to go to 7 a.m. Because I was up anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to 9 a.m. This day. I actually had both my black teas before even going to the gym because I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I had the first one at like 6:30 and then the second one at 8. I was like, I need. So so I do my 50 box jumps.
Ugh.
Okay. I mean, it's
20 inch
tiring. Yeah, the regular 20.
Oh yeah,
inch.
you're good at jumping.
Yeah, that's one of my better things. And then I go to Wallballs, which you love.
I do love
Not
wallballs.
me. Not really me. Sometimes if I'm in the group, but like my back still felt weird. And I just, again, mentally from the lack of sleep, I start doing, and I like do like, I think I did 3 and failed 1. And then I like start doing again. And I made it to 8 and I'm like squatting there and I'm just staying in the squat for a little bit. Like this kind of feels good. Like it's stretching my back. And then I'm just like, I don't know. And the other, so different coach this day. He's like, hey, yeah, are you okay? Do you want me to get you a lighter ball? And I had already gone lighter
We went like
than
a
the
12?
last time. No. So I've never done 14. I've never done the RX
Okay.
wall balls. Usually have done 10, but a couple of times lately I've gone up to 12, especially if there's not many. Okay, there were many in this one.
So many.
So I started the warm up delusional with the 12, and then I was like, I need the 10. And now he's asking me, do you want me to get you the 8? I'm like,
leave me
no.
alone.
I just was like, no, that's gonna just, I don't even. And I was like, I think I'm not gonna do wall. He's like, do you want to just hop on the bike? This is like literally, I've never been asked to hop on a bike until this week. And I was like asked if I wanted to twice. So
I would have been like, I'm just going to do air squats. Thanks.
I really just wanted to hop on the bike. And so I did. And I was able to, kind of do a good pace for 10 minutes, and that felt like mentally okay. Like I think more was just mentally fragile from not sleeping, like mental, emotional.
Okay, 40s and 50s. Oh, sleeping through the night is so important.
Yeah, I'm usually a good sleeper.
Me too, and I've been having some trouble as well. And it
just in the last week or
no, it's been for like on and off for the past like 8 weeks, partly with Finn because he would stay downstairs and then he'd wake up and then I'd have to go down the stairs and then he'd go outside.
Yeah, and dog's sick.
Just makes it hard. But yeah, when you're trying to do all of those things at the gym, that takes so much mental energy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to focus so hard so you don't biff it on a box jump.
That's true.
That's like my biggest fear because I've seen people biff it and then they have to go and get stitches on their shins.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't want that to happen.
So I do feel like that doing CrossFit is in a way like playing tennis, because you really have to be like present, and because there are things that you have to think about in order to not get hurt. And like if you're doing wall balls and you're thinking I have to do 25, or at the beginning, excuse me, you have to do 30, and your back was already kind of hurting, like with every wall ball, right? You got to like make sure that you're bracing your core and you're not like in a funny position. And
so I did have a quote unquote games ready moment after that, but I'm curious, and I'm also, you know, I realize I'm quite like several years older than you, so I don't want you to feel pressure to have a Medicare ready moment every week. So it's okay if you don't have
but can my Medicare moment also be considered like a blonde moment?
Maybe.
Like a ding dong moment?
Did you have a ding dong moment?
I always have ding dong moments.
All right, tell me about your ding dong moment.
Well, it was not really, I guess it wasn't like a super ding dong moment. It was just more being a little bit gun shy and a little bit of a wuss. So our awesome Monday workout that included wall balls was 6 wall balls, and then you went and did 6 toes to bar, and then we were supposed to do 6 stick jumps, right? That's where you have the box, and then you put the PVC pipe sticking out from the box. You put like a plate on the PVC, and then you hop over it sideways. So girls were supposed to do 20 inches.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to be gassed. I just don't believe in myself when it comes to jumping. So I used the 12-inch box, and I was the only one that used something that was smaller than 20 inches.
That's okay. And you just got back to it.
Yeah. So I did scale, like it was every minute on the minute for 10 minutes of 6, 6, 6. And so I chose to do 5, 5, 4. So I was done by 40 seconds usually. And I did not do toes to bar. So I get really anal in my head about form, because I guess I believe that if I have perfect form, I won't get hurt.
It helps.
And so we used to have a coach at our gym that was a former gymnast. And before she moved away, we did a little one-on-one session of what little exercises I can work on and how to scale until I can get a strict toes to bar. Like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to do kipping toes to bar all the time without being able to do strict toes to bar. And I'm not sure why. Besides, I think that I could get carried away with the kipping and then like not actually be using the correct muscles to get my toes up there. Same thing with kipping pull-ups. So I did those at Girls Gone RX. I got it 3 in a row. Yay. That was the most ever. But typically I'll just do something that I'm working on the strict motion. So all that to say, I was working on shooting my feet down, like, so getting my knees up as high as I can and getting back, and then getting my, like, going back to that arch position versus having fun like everybody else. There's this one girl, because she's like 39, 40, 38, maybe she's 39. Her name's Siobhan, and she's like petite, and she's front squatting 150. And then when she gets up to do her toes to bar, it's like ankles and shins to bar. I'm always kind of jelly. But I think she's been lifting a lot longer than I have. That's another thing I learned over the past couple months is, so there's this awesome chick in the gym who is way younger, and one of her goals was to back squat 250. And she did. Like, that's freaking hoss.
Yeah.
And I found out she's been lifting since she was like 15.
Wow.
So it
accumulates.
Yeah,
You
right?
gather strength.
Yeah, and your body just understands better the mechanics and how, like, that repetition. And so again, I think that we both, like, it's always learning how to stay in your own lane and do what is right for your body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, having to be tuned into, I should just go ride the bike.
Yep. Yeah, and the second day, I didn't even feel bad about riding the bike. The first day, I felt a little like demoted or just,
Yeah, you're like, and the second day, you're like, bye, Wallball.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, good for you for getting on that damn bike. I don't like that thing. Ugh.
Well, we don't have the assault bikes in this gym. It's just all legs.
Oh, the
Yeah,
ass bike
right. It makes a big
literally
difference.
kicks my ass.
Yeah.
The first time my brother rode an assault bike, we were doing like a semi-private lesson with his coach, and I was taking it slow because I knew like it was gonna push me even hard. And he's like biking next to me, like, what? Like, this is hard. And after the end, he's like, I think I'm gonna puke. Like, I thought it was just a nice bike ride.
Nope. Yeah, this isn't the first gym I've been in that doesn't have this.
It's kind of nice.
I don't mind. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So then,
so my little moment would have been, I just jumped over a 12-inch stick.
Yeah, but you did it many times.
Yes. And that workout just was freaking fun.
Oh, that's good.
I guess I like those, just, there wasn't a lot of skill, right? Like wall balls and then hanging on a bar and trying to lift up your legs.
Those are skills.
Just kind of grinding it out, and it's really fun.
Yeah. I think there's some skill in wall balls. So I've like fallen on my ass and, hit like the wrong, not where I'm supposed to be hitting it.
Yeah. Do you have like the things to hit, or are you actually against a wall?
Yeah. Yes and yes. Like one room has the things and the other has the walls, and I never use the things. I've tried it and I do not like it. They like bounce weird. Yeah.
That, and like, yeah, it kind of freaks me out. Like,
yeah.
What if it just goes off to the edge a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, in my biggest problem with wall balls is that I'll bend forward too much because I just lack thoracic mobility. So I've been trying to like have the wall ball touch the wall, and then I'll do my squat and try to like, stay up, right?
Yeah.
My gym does not have 12-pound wall balls. It goes 10 to 14.
That's how my old gym was too, or the two previous gyms.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. We have like all the wall balls. We didn't have an 8 either. I think it went 6 to 10 to 14. And
there are 6s? I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we have 6. Oh really? Oh, interesting. I started with a 6 at, when I first started.
Yeah.
But I got up to 10. I don't know how long it took,
but there's anyway. That jump of 10 to 14.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
I was doing 14 if I could do like
more. 5
in a row. And so if it was like 15, I could do 3 sets of 5. And I'm probably one more at the gym that will set up little games like that for myself too, of like, I'm going to do everything in 3s, and I drop it instead of like, maybe that's just because I'm not in shape enough. Doing 12 in a row.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It is.
You can't, yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't do 14 until it was at the very, like right before I took a break. I was using 14 a couple of times, and I was super proud because it used to hurt my back as well.
So we're gonna have to call this like this episode wall balls and stuff if we keep talking anywhere about wall balls. We got business to talk about. But first, I gotta say, I did have a quote unquote games
Yes,
ready moment.
I need to know about the games ready.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it was easier to have one when I basically skipped the Metcon. Just did a little bike. Yeah, so we after that we did some skills, and I don't know if you saw the video. I told you like look on our gym Facebook. Yeah, so we did the synchronized.
Oh, there you were. Oh my gosh, I love leg warmers. Love them.
Yeah, because we were gonna run outside in like 30 degrees. My ankles get cold because there's always a gap between the legging and the sneaker. So but yeah, so we did like skills after, and we started with these little kind of like beats, like just a really small kipping kind of thing, and then we did regular kipping, and then we did like knees up, and then we did like knees up with a flick, and I did 7 toes to bar. And
amazing.
I don't think I've done that many because I wasn't doing the knee flick method. I was just like lifting my whole legs up. And that made it much easier. And yet I probably would have been too tired if I had done the entire Metcon. So I'm kind of pleased that, like I'm gonna start to understand that some days I need to take it easy, and I still get something out of it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that is a hard, I don't know. Maybe that's like the personality type of like, it can just be hard to be like, no, I just want to go ham all the time, but I can't. Yeah, I do way better when I do 5 days a week versus 6.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever done 6.
I did 6 in the spring because I had joined barbell club, and I had 3 days a week of my like bodybuilding stuff, and barbell club was also 3 days a week. So we had 2 classes with a coach and then 1 of like accessory work. By the end of that, I was so tired. Like I took a week off and I just had no energy. So then I went down to 5 days a week. So much better. Yeah,
so much better. So did you have a games ready moment this week?
I would just say that I was really pleased. We're in the middle of a squat cycle, and I'm kind of picking up in the middle of it. And we're doing 4 sets of 2 front squats and then 4 back squats. And I did 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm feeling like good. And I mean, the front squats were not super easy, but my front squat 1 rep max is like 125. And I remember doing that with like a partner, and she's like, you got so much more gas in the tank. And I was like,
yeah, I'm sure you can do more.
To do this.
I think you'll be able to do more really soon. Because I do more. I do more than you on something.
I think you do, like
on front squat. Yeah.
Well, I also wonder, like,
but not for long. I'm sure you're gonna pass me.
Well, what's your 1 rep max
for front squats? I did like over a year ago. I did 145, but then I wasn't able to do more than like 135 this year. I think I had a bad day. Yeah, I had like a bad week. It was just like right before my period, and I just was pretty weak. And I was like, oh, I really thought I was going to do more because of all the, we did a whole cycle of that.
Yeah. I know that can be disappointing. Have you ever like totally dropped the bar and failed in a front squat?
In a front squat, I don't think so. I did fail in a back squat and not behind me. I like actually was I was so far down in the squat, and I think my balance was like, I don't know how it happened, but I like failed over my head, and that was pretty scary. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hit my head a little.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
You bruise your spine or something.
Yeah, I was fine, but it was a little scary.
I think I'm such a chicken shit that I don't go hard enough to, I'm afraid of failing in a big class.
Mhm.
I mean, I failed snatches in front of a ton of people.
Oh, so you're just afraid of like people seeing it, like more people seeing you
I
fail?
think so. I think that's
Okay.
part of it.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Mm.
Or I think I'm also just worried that like going heavy, like if I get stuck, like am I gonna hurt
Yeah.
myself?
Right.
And then I have again that thing that goes through my head of nobody's paying me to do this.
Yeah.
So why am I being a freakazoid about it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was happy to have, do 100 front and 100, 200, 100 front squats, whatever. I don't know how to say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just, to be back. And then today was just fun because I'm, I do 4-week programming for my bodybuilding stuff.
Mhm.
And I got to do a bunch of fun new things today. One of them was crossover step ups into a lateral lunge. So imagine you're standing next to a box
Mhm.
and you're going to take the outside leg and go in front of your other leg,
Okay.
step up, and
Wow.
then you're going to
That's
use
already
like,
hard.
and then do like the reverse. So then you're stepping down with that leg behind, and then you like basically kick out and into a lateral lunge. And I kicked my ass the first time because I did a set of 10 with 15-pound dumbbells in my hands. And then I was so gassed.
Yeah.
So I did it without, and that was even just way easier on my brain because
Right.
it is like step down. That was fun though. And then
Yeah.
I did another exercise that I think is going to really help my core. So you take a band and you put it on the rig,
Mhm.
and then you're basically doing a chest press into that band, and then you're bent over to do a row. So you're holding down the band with one hand, and then you're doing a row with your other one. So you got to, instead of like, moving, you're supposed to stabilize
Mm.
your midsection. It's kind of fun.
Cool.